Hello and welcome everybody to a new ARK SOTF patch notes video. Today we'll be covering patch 474.3, talking about some major game changes and balance changes. Let's get into the video. Starting with a lot of major game changes, the Ring of Death will now cover 70% of the map at start. This is forcing people to be a little bit more dynamic about their strategies, since now not all the areas of the map will be available at all times. The wildcard is decreasing the overall game time from 45 minutes to 25 minutes, with the waiting time in lobbies decreasing from 10 minutes to 5 minutes as well, making games start way more quickly, so if you die early, it's not as painful anymore. The quest will now always fly over the first ring, and all bosses will spawn in the first ring. The waiting times between the ring phases got decreased, and the quests can now come from every direction, not just the north. Now to one of the most important changes in the patch, the whole XP and token system is getting adjusted. This means that the longer the game goes, the higher the XP and tokens gain will go. This is now starting at phase 0 with a multiplier of 2.0, going up to phase 6 where the XP multiplier is times 3 and the token reward you get from dinos is time 3.5. The game will now always start on phase 0, which is the preparing phase, and the phase 1 is the beginning of the game, with the border starting to shrink, with ring 6 being the final fighting ring. Coming to the balance changes now. Players will now start with 2 blood packs instead of 1, so players have better survival against early PvE creatures. Shotguns looted now will be automatically reloaded with 2 shells. Shotgun shells crafted will also now craft 2 at a time to save crafting time. This is making the shotgun overall a little better. Tamed direwolves and rexes will now no longer howl and roar before attacking. This was really annoying before, and I'm glad that they changed it, making wolf packs and rexes that are not being controlled by player a lot better. Coming to the Kentro. The Kentro is getting its health decreased by 15%, but in exchange it's getting a 50% movement speed buff. I think that this is a slight nerf, but it may also be a buff since the Kentro is so slow that it doesn't really pose any threat and just gets shot to death by players instead of being the spike ball that it wants to be. Giving it a little bit more speed to be a threat and taking away the major thing that it needs to tank is a risky move, but I can see the Kentro be played even more with this change, since moving around the map will be a lot easier with that change. Coming to our pig, the deadon, getting the same kind of changes as the Kentro, getting its health decreased by another 15% in exchange for 50% more speed, and the speed multiplier while healing got increased from 0.65 to 0.85, making the deadon a lot more speedier than before. Overall, this is a big nerf to the deadon, since it already got so many health nerfs in the past. The speed will definitely help it out a lot when it comes to wolf packs, but this will definitely result in a decline in play rate and viability. The kangaroo got another health nerf. Since the kangaroo is just too good of a creature for ARK SOTF, it's getting another 10% health nerf. But it's not changing kangaroo's spot more than before in the current meta, since it already was a glass cannon before. More importantly is the change to the Paracer. The Paracer got its speed and health increased by 25%. As stated in the last patch notes video, the Paracer is just a big chunk of meat. Seems like Wildcard wants it to be that good chunk of meat. This change will definitely bring it into a good spot to be one of the best tanky creatures in the game. With the Paracer not taking that much damage from fire arrows and now being at a good speed, I'm sure that the Paracer will see more play and will be a good creature for you to tank against couches, rexes and all other creatures while you throw your grenades and arrows at them. Coming to the Titanosaurus. The Titano is getting a small buff in form of a change to its attacks now breaking stone. Also, the Titano will now break rocks and trees instantly when walking through them, making it easier to move around the map. Not so much fun is the yuty having with another nerf, getting its speed decreased by 7% and its damage by 9%. On top of all that, also a health nerf of 14%. Seems like Wildcard is trying to fine-tune the yuty into a state where it's not posing too much of a threat. This is definitely hurting it, but the yuty will still be a good option as a commander of armies. The Chalico is getting its speed increased by 25%. Its speed is definitely one of the things that is holding it back. With this change, the Chalico is now getting a lot more interesting, and we might see a little bit more play of it in the future. The Beelzebufo was already in a good spot as a small niche dino to hop around, but now it is getting buffed by 100% more health. It will move up and definitely be one of the best creatures to ride on and shoot players from, so I'm expecting a lot more players to pick it up now. The next creature that we are talking about is the broodmother, with another buff, this time 50% more damage on its acid attack. I personally think that the broodmother in the right hands can be extremely dangerous, and I don't think that it needs more buffs. Coming to some last adjustments on the Carno and Alloy, getting the melee socket radius increased by 12% to better hit small down dinos. This is in general also a small range increase and could also be seen as a buff. Last thing on our list is the female stag. Now when depicting a female stag, it will be shown as Megaloceros instead of stag. And with that, I hope you guys enjoyed this patch note video. If you did, please subscribe and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!